Hi, I'm James, and this is Outpost Terminal. So today we're picking up where we left off in our playtest playthrough with Space Game Studios. So Carlos will be leaving commentary for us as we go along. Just a reminder, in case you haven't seen the first video in this series, so this is intended to be a playtest of Mothership, right? A game in development by the solo developer, Carlos. And the intent here is to kind of share first impressions of the game and to help playtest, which means sometimes we find bugs, sometimes we are just impressed with the vision of the game. It is, to be clear, a pre-alpha game. So that means that it's going to have kind of placeholder art in some spaces. This is more about playtesting the mechanics and the storytelling and seeing those components come together so that we can kind of build it toward a beta release and then eventually ready for a 1.0. Specifically, Carlos has noted for us that, like, since he's not a 3D modeling or art specialist, a lot of these assets are placeholders and will be getting either updates or replacements later on as we get closer to the final build. So don't take any of the kind of graphic issues or representations you might see here as negative. Again, I kind of mentioned it in passing, but Carlos is building this game entirely by himself. And for a three-dimensional game with heavy space physics, this is a really ambitious and impressive project for a first-time developer, especially developing solo. So broadly, the concept here is that people are entering the game as a young girl who gets left behind by a mothership in a world that we don't know exactly why, but everyone needed to leave. That world is where we woke up and had to find ourselves a way to a spaceship that we are now in, and we'll be chasing down those motherships, right? Trying to get back in touch with the people we lost touch with. That said, I think that prepares us for sort of entering the routine gameplay loop. We went through sort of a tutorial level last time, and then in through the bunker, where we discovered both the space suit, not both, the space suit, the ship itself that we'll be riding in, and a whole array of tools that will help us on our journey.
Hi, I'm Carlos. First comment here. I just wanted to say that that was a totally accurate introduction. Thank you very much, James. Go for it.
So, I think this puts us right at a place where we landed on Mars. I'll go ahead and shift us over. So we have landed on what looks like Mars. And there is gravity again. So you see that things are not floating around the cabin. But this is where we will pick up in Mothership. So grab your beverage of choice this morning and settle in. Let's go through another round of Mothership. All right. So as a reminder, this is where we landed, a fairly barren space. And for anyone who followed along in the past, when I did a very rudimentary video, but a playthrough of the demo for this game, when you landed was where we triggered the cutscene. So I have seen nothing beyond this point. This will all be completely fresh to me. We have to grab our suit. If we're hurt, we can use the kit to heal, which you can see on our right shoulder. Is a number representing that health. And we have burnt a bunch of our core power to get to where we are now, which is not Mars, now that I think about it, because we burnt to Alpha Centauri, the nearest star, which means it is certainly not Mars. So we spent a lot of fuel to get there. We have only 0.4 years accelerating, which is very, very small. So we are now in pursuit of another core to refuel ourselves. I don't think I'd really paid attention to this before, but if you study the face mask, I love that there's kind of a HUD shown there. That's a nice touch that I don't feel like I've seen a lot of on the front. All right, so here we use our compass. So right now it's pointing to our first core, which is the one inside the ship, is right there. But now core 3 is 500 meters away and somewhere that way. So let's run. It was an important piece of this game for Carlos, and he talked about this in the first session, where he wants you to be able to explore as you see fit. So there is a lot of open space here. It is not intentionally like dense corridors all the time. Also, the gravity is clearly lower here because if we hold the jump, we can, we can make it that distance. We are closing. We're 300 meters. That first drink of coffee, or whatever your favorite is. So I myself left, I left caffeine. Oh my gosh. These ships always astound me in their size, right? Like, which is how I think it would be for something considered a true mothership. Oh, we're going down the hill. I don't know how we're going to get back. That may require some parkour. But yeah, I left caffeine behind coming up on 2 years ago now. And I was a heavy, like 2 pots of coffee a day drinker. So chicory, pure chicory, has replaced that for me. If it's something you're interested in doing, I recommend doing it slowly because I did it fast and it was tough. All right, looking at our compass, I can see we're much closer, but it would appear we've actually gone over it. So it's down in the earth here, probably part of the buried ship. Oh my goodness. Like, there's much that I want to explore here. Of course, I want to see what's down there. Now, I don't know if we would die jumping down there because, like, this seems like it wouldn't be a big problem, but then I don't think our thrusters are truly enough. Oh, let's get gutsy. To neutralize, like, the impact, right? The meters per second, or however the game engine calculates it, impact that would happen. Let's see here. And that kind of begs the question. I know we're on the planet now, but I have a question for Carlos here. So if you can, walk me through a little bit, like how you designed the rocket boot movement so that 0G feels weighty instead of floaty. And like what I mean is the character moves very consistently. Like physics are accurate in space. But how do you add that inertia, the slowness that makes it feel like you are controlling a real thing rather than, as can sometimes happen in space games, the player feels almost too lightweight, like a dot being pushed around. I have to know what's up here first. I know we're going down there, but
All right, bring it on. Okay, if I have properly understood, you're talking about 0G movements, which is what you will see you have seen in the last chapter, and you will see in the next one, in space, in zero gravity. I think the answer to that question is the fact that you are constantly accelerating. It's like it changed completely. On ground, when you push the stick on the gamepad, you are keeping mainly a constant a constant velocity. You are walking at the same speed all the time. In space, it changes completely. When you maintain the stick pushed forward, max extent of the stick, you are not aiming for a constant velocity. You are what you are applying to the character is constant acceleration. And and you were saying that you felt weighty, isn't it? The character is like it's not like you feel the weight. That's super important for me during all the development to make people feel the weight of things, which is can be very associated with the concept of game feel. Um, I remember it, something that one example of it was with Gears of War, where you have a very heavy characters, very very weighty, and you feel you feel the weight so much with those characters. The game feel is so good in that sense. Everything is helping in supporting that concept, that feeling. And in my case, I concerning the zero G scenarios, I did it by having a very I think it's a slow acceleration. You don't have a very from the beginning. You don't have um, a fast acceleration, but if you you reach like huge speeds by just maintaining the acceleration over time, which is actually exactly what happened with your ship traveling close to the speed of light. You are just constantly accelerating, and that's one thing. And maybe the other thing that conveys properly the weight of the character is the collisions. Is the fact that when you collide with something in over a certain small limits, when you collide with something, you will feel your body really like bouncing and flipping and spinning. And I've never seen in another game. I don't know other games that have done that at all. So if you know, please in the comments say to us, dear viewers, if you know other games that have done it before, just let me know because I'm really interested. But I think that is something pretty novel from.
Wow. So it clearly came down hard. Wow. And they're so tall. Oh, it's open at the bottom. In theory, we could walk down there. Is that how we're gonna have to get back up? I have a theory there. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so jumping down would have been a really bad idea. I feel like we sort of see this in some of Carlos's like answers as we've played through, that as a professional in aeronautics or astronautics, he certainly has needed to spend time like studying these systems, but it's a very different thing to know the math and then have to implement it in like simulation systems in a game engine. So I think that's really interesting how kind of like how he's conceptualized this. And something that has stood out to me is his thought, like his thoughtfulness as an artist before a like raw scientific character, right? Like I think I want that because that will heal me, right? Okay, it's worth 10 health points. Okay, this helps us work our way down. Man, these ships are gorgeously intricate. Like, there is a lot of level design here. Stairs, so we can take stairs down to the next level. This is, honestly, this is something that I know Carlos was sort of looking to do, but at the same time, I'm so glad that he did it this way. He wanted the game to be exploration, right? To be sort of at your own pace, study the world you're in, learn about it, see what else you can figure out. And it's clearly succeeded here because he's got beautifully designed levels. This feels like a proper mothership. See, looking down this way, that appears to extend forever. And honestly, it kind of should. If this was supposed to be a ship that contains an entire portion of civilization. I am not super familiar, but that looks kind of like Korean to me on the wall. I might be wrong. But the effort that goes into making this work that cleanly as a huge model, I want to know what's on that sign. I don't know if the sign means anything. All right, let's do it. Okay, so we're looking at a diagram. So stairs, lifters, and roads. So yeah, that makes sense. And you are here, which is... Oh, perfect. That's how we get the map. Okay, so that tells us that we are... I forget where. Whoops. We are... Bet M will toggle it off again. Well, we're here. I forget where here is. I should have looked at it first. Somewhere in maybe engineering or the hangar. Okay. Continue deeper, because we know that the core is this way. I can imagine in future iterations here that a flashlight in these dimly lit environments will likely, I could be wrong, but will likely end up being added for environmental effects, and it'll feel both lonely and very real to be this deep in a crashed ship. Okay, so we've made it to, we are between the hangar deck and the engineering deck, and we want to get to the core, so we're still one level too high, but core shield, okay. Oh, we're actually right above it. Well, that could work out wonderfully. So again, the game is teaching us here how to... I think the right choice is to go... Okay, if this is just the core surface, we can jump up it. I was like, is to go up here. Core reactor, authorized clearance 5. Well, I'm pretty sure we won't survive if we jump down. But we got options. I forgot we have the flashlight. That is absolutely my mistake. I said if we had a flashlight, here's the flashlight. I just forgot to use it. And it's a ways down. So let's fire a light down. Oh no. It went out. That's understandable. Let's use the grapple. Boop. And down. Gently down. Okay. All right, we're down. And now what I really want to do... Oh, and Carlos talked about this in our last session. See, if I continue pressing forward here, The rope is actually preventing me from walking, which was something that I think is intended to happen. I probably bugged it somehow before. If I keep holding the click down, it will allow it to continue expanding. But I'm going to reload to reset it. And I'm so glad we have a light. But oh boy, there's dust like crazy in here. I love the particles kind of falling from the ceiling. There's the core. Well, shoot. I'm all about that vertical traversal. Oh, 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 oh. Feet to ground, please.
I'm glad you noticed that. Just a quick note, just a curiosity. That system is inspired by my own experiences with rock climbing. There is a very common system called the Gree. It's an auto belayer, so it works exactly the same as you are experiencing it. It blocks the rope when you are trying to go away from it, from the last attach point, let's say. And in order to unlock it, you must pull a lever, and if you pull it to the max, it will unlock the rope completely, and you will fall and crash. So it's really like just to pull it just enough, just a little bit, to not go all the way down, just to not let all the gravity take control of your body. So that's why it's also a system I've never seen implemented like that in real, with that Gree philosophy. I've never seen it before in a video game. So again, if anyone knows any game that has done it before, just let me know.
I'm not sure. I'm going to let this expand. I can't pull it up, can I? No, I can only go down. So we safely got down here. Now we are going to have to get all the way back up. So now we bring the core back to the ship. I switch the core tracker to the one that we will be headed toward. And stair running simulator. Ooh, there's no railings though. I should be careful. Oh, there's railings here. There's no railings there. The safety people might have something to say about that. I do like that though. It adds kind of the, if nothing else, it adds drama, right, to the, oh, I may not be able to get out this way, to the environment. I think I had to go further in, down below. Yeah, love it. I absolutely made a mistake there. Here we go. Down the stairs. These levels are really, really well designed. Like, I just want to point that out. Kudos, Carlos. There is a lot of time spent on making these feel as good as they do. Like, the core itself feels huge, but also, oh no, I may have made a mistake here. I may have fallen down something. I don't want to fall down. There we go. But the levels feel huge, like, because they are, but also they are, like, everything has sort of a functional purpose that feels cool, right? There's like the particles of dust and sand. This is presumably some kind of like magnetic or electronic containment area. Carlos has done one of my favorite things from the early like level to play through then, where he left a door cracked. Oh no, I failed to make it. I have sneaky suspicions that this is going to be a bit of a challenge for me, as it's supposed to be. Okay, I've fallen. How do I get myself back? I'm gonna figure it out one way or another. I hope. So we know we can't walk up it. Okay, maybe. It just requires persistence. Again, I don't know if that's the intended solution, but it works. And kudos, because it feels challenging to do. Like, it feels like I got away with something doing that, right? That's huge. I wonder if we can, like, it looks like something we could move. Because it definitely moves. I bet if I grapple it, question mark? Let's set this down. Please don't roll away. Okay, that wasn't it. Oh, I could try the hinge. That would make sense. Oh. No. Let's see here. I mean, maybe I can just push my way past it. Sure doesn't feel like it. Oh, I can. I can just go past it. Well, let's go get the core. Excellent. Up that hill, and like the intentionality here of forcing the player to think through, right, how these different elements will work. Again, as a player, I feel like I got past something. I got over something here. That's great. Another health kit? I can heal myself in case I fell off a restored, so I'm back at full. What's that? I'm not sure what that did for me. It's a helmet. Oh, well, that's kind of sad.
All right, just some comments in the last two small challenges you have encountered concerning the small ramp on the circular blue door before the circular blue door. I think it was just a bug. You managed to find a way to climb that slope, but it should not. It's like an error from my side. The right solution, just for curiosity, it was going backwards to where the walkway, from the beginning of the walkway, you could easily jump to the beginning of that yellow walkway, and then make again the walk walk up that sun slope, but through the walkable part of it. And the second time, when you have encountered the huge hexagon container blocking your path after the circular blue door, that was again a small physics bug, and it is not supposed to be there, and it's just a physics object that has just jumped around and has landed right in front of your normal passage. So that's great, because that showed me things I have to correct, and I just will remove or change the position of that physics objects, make it land in a safer place in order to it to don't move on the future. So it will make the exit from the circular blue door way easier. Anyway, I'm so happy you found a way around. Make a out the box. So you found an out of the box solution. So yeah, I was a little bit worried but congrats.
And this will place us back outside of the ship with lots of health to spare. These crates, I'm curious if I am intending to learn something from them, like if they could be like interacted with in a way that would give me a little bit more history of the vessel. Like, I love this idea that we are effectively now. Oh, we were at the back, I think. And we are now at the front. The cargo control room would be above this room. Oh no, this is where I was up there earlier on the circular thing. Okay. And now we're going to... Oh, I don't like it. But we have solutions for this. We drop that because it's durable. I'm glad I wasn't wrong. Drop a rappel line and safely move to the ground. Just like we were supposed to. Excellent. Grabbing the core and now working our way up this path that we probably could go either of those directions. But outstanding. There are rocks falling down. I don't know exactly where from. And one of them just disappeared. Our protagonist, who I don't think has a name. I'd be curious. Carlos, do we have a name or is it intentionally left unknown?
Well, she doesn't have a name per se, but the project code name is Mercury. Very typical one. But there you got it.
But this, like, there are little touches here that can be just part of, like, the game engine itself, right? But, like, as the light source, we look up toward it, we get some lens flare. It's a triple sun here, at least. And that's fascinating. Like, it just adds to the sort of wonder of the world that we're in. I feel like I might have missed something by not exploring the, looks like, radar tower over there. But if I'm honest, I also don't really want to, there we go. I don't really want to risk having to go all the way back through. Maybe we can get there from here. Maybe? I feel like we're working our way up the hill because there's a pathway that goes back down to it. Nice. Let's see here. So I have my next question for Carlos is, in fact, it would be really relevant here. So you've talked a little bit in the past about like blending real astronomy into this game, right? Like some of the things that are intentionally built to be clear, like simulations of space. How did like your intent to make it highly, let's call it realistic, right? Like highly modeled after physics. How did that shape some of the decisions? Like, were there any decisions that you made that you ended up needing to change because the physics either didn't work out or the physics just would not work out? I'm curious.
Okie I would say it was more like in the opposite way. I guess. It's more like I wanted to do things really in a realistic way. I don't. I'm a little bit tired of games that nudge you, that give you like a too clear direction in which to go, and and I try to be the opposite, to make things as much subtle as possible. And as I was saying to you, it was in the other in the opposite way. I went too subtle, and then by playtesting, I realized many things where people just were not getting it. It was too subtle. They were not able to see some things, some directions, some objects, some indications, and then I had to add more like gamify elements that point you in the right direction. Like I have, well, maybe the biggest example is with the sniper rifle. I call it the tactical rifle. When you pick up for the first time the rifle, uh, people are not used to rifles are mean something, means shooting at enemies in the gaming world. Okay, but I wanted to the rifle has a subverted use in this game. It's not to kill enemies, but I wanted the rifle for the utilitarian properties, for the sight, the scope, and like to see things closer, and to use it to push you, and to push objects, physical objects. I felt it was I really I wanted that feeling of power, really to be able to interact, to be powerful, and change things and push them away, or to slice them, or to go through things on. The flare is overpowered. The light radius you have, like everything is like wow. You have that power, that interaction capabilities. Um, but I okay, as I was saying, the sniper in this game is mainly used to push things, push objects, and that's something people are not used to. And the problem is when I after you catch it, the rifle, you have a path you have to clear to progress that is blocked by huge metal boxes. But many playtesters just didn't never tried to shoot at them because they thought they were static props. And then therefore I had to add, you can see it in the replay, a huge bullseye, a target over one of those boxes to signify, please shoot at me. That, and after I made that change, it was a game changer. Every single body will shoot at that box. It was like almost the first thing they will do is shoot at that box, and then they will understand, okay, even those huge boxes can be pushed with this weapon. So that's how reality, or making things like about the physics you were talking of. I had to change the things that are like more realistic and make it more like gamified. And sometimes I managed to make it subtle. Other times I didn't. So that's life.
It's like there is a piece of me, and I feel like this is a really good thing. There is a piece of me wandering around this world that it's easy when games are in an earlier state. Like there's no rock debris, there's no vegetation. Maybe there is no vegetation on this planet, but like it's easy to get distracted and go, well, there's the shape, I'm just going to walk straight toward it. And you can do that. Like, that's absolutely a valid way to play it. But I appreciate that Carlos has given us a playground on which to play. And to me, that to me is one of the best things about the way this is laid out. You are allowed to tackle this however you would like. And there's something about taking the player on that journey, right, that is like it is the artist in Carlos's design. I see it.
Thank you, James. Thank you so much. I appreciate so much that you appreciate it. As you mentioned, yeah, that takes a lot of effort to create such kind of environments that give players freedom, and but 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 nudge them in the right direction without being really like obstruction of the willing of freedom, and just a playground. Just, do you want to explore a little bit by there? Go there. Do you want to take a look over there? Why not? Just it's kind of a living world or a death world, depending. But it's about immersion. It's all about immersion. As soon as a game take my camera out of control, I'm losing it. I'm just, and I respect it. Is another. I respect every kind of game. Are a ton of as many different games as creative visions, but I really feel there are very few games that give this level of freedom without complexity. As soon as you have like an open world style game, you have tons of systems coming. Now you have very trending like crafting, leveling ups, grindings, collectibles, ton of lists of collectibles, which are, again, they are totally fine. But I am missing more games that makes things simple. Just give me some organic mechanics, simple stuff. Go through it. I have a great example of mine. One of my favorite games is this Giant Squid, The Pathless. Very simple. You have gorgeous environments, gorgeous music, of course, wintry, and that's all. You make it. You make your way through. It's like a very good, a long and good movie. You make it. It's done. You end up with such a good taste, such a good feeling sensation. It's like, okay, I made it. I didn't spend weeks, months of my life in this thing. I had just a small, super crafted experience that at the same time gave me freedom, and that's something I want more. And there you have it in this one. So, thank you, James.
Oh, you can go to other places. Is that a good idea? I want to stay on the recommended path since it is built that way. I wonder if I do travel planner. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it absolutely will let us. It takes time. I so want to. For the sake of continuing the story right now. Oh my goodness. And like these are, yeah, huge numbers. Okay, so headed to Sirius. So we are 20 and a half when we're taking off. We are going to be 25.4 years old, and using the Earth date, it will be 2143 when we arrive at 98% the speed of light. Okay. 4.8 years of your life inside the ship. Yeah, an interstellar voyage. 4.8 years of your life inside the ship, and 11.3 years on Earth outside the ship. I love this. It's the relativity thing that just offering kudos to Carlos here. Relativity is mind-bendy, right? But that's where he's saying it technically takes 4.8 years. Here inside the ship, that's how we would measure that time. But to then say it's 11.3 on Earth, because we are actually moving relative to Earth, and the further you go, the more time will be passing. So like there's famous like statements by Einstein about this and several other prominent scientists, but I love that he's like built that right in. It's a factor in the game. All right, travel kinematics. Let's do this thing. Fast forwarding through our player's life. And there's something to the, like just the reality that we are living, like in some cases, a quarter of a life already in the game. Like I think that's just a beautiful sentiment to kind of help show us like what it means to use the time we have. Right? Oh my gosh, we only have 0.6 years again. Okay. Zooming in. It looks like we are... Where is what I want? Orbit control, multiple ship damage. Oh, right. Okay, that's why. I was like, I don't know where I'm going. But here's a planet at Sirius. Now, we are still in orbit, so relativistically, there's no weight. We can cruise through the cabin. I love that the suit persists. That's nice. Whoa, I forget that all the time. All right. Let's make all the junk fly out. Oof. All right. All right, I know how to do the... I guess I need to do this to make it go away. But that's okay, we can do that. HUD. Oh. I think I hurt myself. All right, we fixed that one. Where's the next one? Oh, right there. That one's going to be a little tougher to get to because it's going to keep moving. And it keeps hitting me when I get too close and it shoots sparks. There we go. And there just is something, so we talked about this earlier, but just the weightless feeling of all of this. It's awesome. And you bounce against things, it kind of puts you into a spin. Because it's wherever you contact it is going to do that. Put the suit back. For now, I'm not going to heal it because I want to save my med kits. Let's see what we can do here. I definitely do find myself bumping my head a lot. Whee! Alright, let's use the orbital control restored. Okay, we're looking for that planet, which should be just fine. Beacon detected. Visually locate the marker. I see it on this planet. What we have to do is get get there, which this is the orbital mechanics thing, where we have to make a loop that is larger than it so that we can let it catch up to us. Oh, fascinating. I love the track ship button. That's handy. See, we're getting closer. And like here, we just keep getting closer and closer until it eventually catches up with us. And then we can capture its orbit, which would be another insertion burn. Love it. All right, so now we're looking for the mothership core, probably. All right, let's grab our spacesuit. And it's at 100. Okay, so I did not necessarily waste anything by holding on to that. And calibration protocols. We're going to do that again. I'm starting to think that might just happen every time you ooh. It's like an eye on that planet. Okay, core 4. 1.5 kilometers that way and down there. Oh no, it's in the dark. You know how I feel about being in the dark. Plus I can't see anything, which the realism spacefarer in me is scared to death of, because it means we're going to be moving too fast, probably, when we arrive. Can I shoot this ahead of me? I can, and it continues. Oh, okay. We are orbiting a large body. Oh boy. I think we might have to go around the planet? Let's boost. Let's get rocking. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a lot of debris, so that's a plus. Alright, so now we move that way. We're kind of learning how to navigate these. Oh, but adjusting vector is not easy. Fire away. Like, we're getting closer, but it kind of feels like it's actually in the... Oh, it's in the center of this planet that's cracked open. In fact, I need to slow us down a little. Is that a... Okay, it's a storage crate. I was like, I want to make sure. Oh no. Oh, they had a bad day. This is a heck of a thing to find. I'm gonna let us drift by this large piece, and then there's the door there that would tell us which ship this was. And I want to know, so I'm going to look. Two. It's Mothership 2. I wish I remembered. I didn't think to, like, mentally make a note, but of how, like, which ships we found. And it's right in there. I think I see the purple thing just past the... But we are going to keep that light going. 55 kilometers an hour is still pretty quick. a lot to potentially hit here. Oh my goodness. Again, kudos, Carlos, for... Oh, I love it. I just noticed something. So our speed, 19. If we fire a flare, it actually seeps off and shoots us the other direction because there is nothing to keep your mass from inertially shifting here. Okay, we're close. Is it just floating in the open? But we gotta watch out for all these jets of gases that are venting from the planet. Oh my goodness, I love it. And then he's gonna take away my flashlight, which I love so much. Now, do we think we can get all the way through the planet here? I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out. I'm afraid to go much faster because I don't have a really good light source. I think I see stars, like out some of the spots. But what I don't know is if there's like large solid objects between me and those stars. I think like right in here, those are stars. Like I think that's, oh, this is skybox as well, right? Okay, we can get through here. We're not really going toward the ship yet, but we got to get out of the planet crust first. Or the moon crust. I keep saying planet. I think this is more of a moon. Okay. And now we can place ourselves facing toward what we're after. Let's pick up our speed a little bit. I'm pretty sure I just went like to the wrong side of the planet. Was it rotating? It might have been rotating. Because I'm absolutely not going helpful directions. It is that way. Oh boy. Mistakes were made on my part. I love that outside of this, it doesn't seem all that large, but this is like, Carlos has nailed scale here. Oh, it's that way. Is that it? That could be it. No, it's not. Oh, there it is. Oh no. Oh, James. You've overshot. You've vastly overshot. Well, that is for sure the right way to go. I just have to get there. I have got to stop moving because I am drifting so far away. Oh, so this is a great spot to ask about. Like, it's easy to look at these systems and think, like, how do you build these? And to a degree, some of the weightlessness is not hard in three-dimensional space in a simulated environment, but other pieces of it get genuinely really tricky. And so my question to you, Carlos, is what was the hardest what was the hardest physics problem to solve in this game? Like, just hands down, what was the hardest thing to solve?
The thing that really shocked me when I change it, when I make it, was the decision to always put the character facing the direction you are trying to move. You are trying. It's not your real vector, your real velocity. It's the one you are trying to align your character always with that um, wished direction. That was that took me a lot of. I made a lot of experimentation, but a lot, huge. Trying really like innovation, really like tricky things with the gamepad, with the stick. Uh, I went really too far in the experimentation field, and and then one day, thanks to one friend who that's why it's so crucial to make things be play tested, or even not even a proper play test, but just give it to people and say to them, just try, just tell me, just in a very casual way, but make people try it really just like a small playing with mechanics, and that's when he told me like it's not working, and he pointed out to me in the right direction. And then, because I was so experienced, thanks to all the experimentation, it was really easy to me to find to propose a solution to his problem. And from that moment on, it was like, okay, it worked. And it was that facing to the wished direction, so to the stick direction um, solution, that that really changed completely. And I'm so happy. And it's funny because some of the greatest solutions uh, don't you are not, even if you know how to implement it, you are not capable. So me as a designer, sometimes I'm not capable of seeing things because you are inside of the of the creative process, um, and therefore I'm so thankful to many other people, all you playtesters. It's like is 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 magic. That kind of shared ownership of the game, I think is beautiful. So thank you, James, again.
It's really cool to. Whoops. It's. I'm so glad that prevented me from making dumb choices.
Yeah, okay. I saw that. Again, that it's a great example about realism. What you asked me before about realism versus, the gamification. That's my way to address the question you asked before. Um, that's exactly a great example. At the beginning of the game, if you open the door without the suit, the outside door, or if you put your suit away, you will die instantly. And the animation is it was really funny. It was really really cool to see your character floating completely, with all the limbs floating completely dead. But very recently I blocked both of those things, which was a little bit complicated from the coding. There are many things happening there for especially for the outside door. There are many systems interacting, communicating to let me know, okay, you are opening only the outside door. You are not wearing the spacesuit, and so on. And then therefore you must play the death animation. Uh, what else? What else? Yeah, and that's the no the message that prevents you to trigger those death situations. For me, it's not realistic. It's I don't I don't justify it by any special like system or in kind of artificial intelligence or anything like that on the game. But because of the nature of the game, in which if you die, you go back to the last checkpoint. You have a lot of path to walk. Sometimes it's shorter. It's okay, but for example, in the desert level, when you go back from the moment you take the black box until you reach your ship and you are walking all the hill back by the side, is really a long walk. Is It can be done once, it's okay, but two times because you just made a small mistake, just because you were like happy. Maybe you were happy, you were um, not paying really attention. That's something that happened, for example, when with mountain climbers, trekkers. Most of the accidents are, I heard, most of the accidents happen when people are going back, when they are going downwards, back. They are coming back from the top of the mountain and they are happy and they are tired, they are confident, and bam, then they have accidents. The same here, and here in the game, the punition, uh, it's so hard that I decided to remove it. Uh, Also, one really horrible situation you could have is because you are drifting in space. You try to heal yourself in the repair station you have on the healing station you have on right now on the screen on the right side. But because you are drifting, let's say to the left, and the door is open, you end up two on the left. You enter the trigger box of the suit, and then you change, you put your suit there, you remove your suit and voluntary, and then you are dead. It's not fair. It's not fair, really. There are too many small things happening, and I just for the sake of the mental health of the players, I decide to apply like gamified barriers, and then I block those uh, those interactions if you were not on the right configurations. Um, that said, I totally respect games like Outer Wilds that allow you to make those silly questions and kill yourself, and because we are games with a different nature in that sense, in which Outer Wilds you are supposed to restart the game all the time, so it's not a big deal at all. In Outer Wilds, on my game, on the other hand, it's a disaster. It's a waste of time, a very big waste of time. So that's okay. That
I think that's really interesting because I feel like the answer to questions like what's the hardest usually are not the things you would think of, right? And for this session, I want to kind of finish by asking just the movement feels so good. Like it's very accurate. It's challenging. Like the game is the movement, right? In a lot of ways. Was there an early like prototype of the movement in the game that like had to change? Were there things that you did early on with movement that you needed to iterate on? I'm just curious what that looked like.
I thinking about jumping, for example. jumping, one of the greatest mechanics of all times. Um, at the first on the first prototypes, I was on your spacesuit. You had like a very like powerful jump, but it was embedded on the suit. It was like a powerful boots, just that give you like a you could trigger like a very like powerful jump and reach high altitudes, and you can if you jump really high, but there is not a ledge to land on, but you will fall from a high altitude and you will crash yourself. Um, that mechanic was super cool. The fact to risk yourself, like okay, I'm going to trigger voluntarily a powerful jump and I must know where to land because otherwise I will hurt myself. It was I love it. But later on the development of the game, I decided that it was way more interesting to use the gravity of the planets in those levels in which you play on the surface, to change your altitude to make um, big jumps by changing the gravity of the planets, and trying to adapt yourself and also make the level design related to that jump capability of the different levels planets. And that's another good example of me trying to use real things to make interesting mechanics instead of just forcing those mechanics on the game by giving you over powerful boots, as using the real things you can find out there in space. That was one of the main themes of all these games, is trying to showcase like the real wonders that can be exist in the real world, on space, in other planets. Is like, why not just look at this? So that's a good example, I think.
Again, the idea that we could go to the others fascinates me. So 49 light years, 49, that's not what that number says, 47.9 years, light years. Okay, so if we go to Vega, we'll travel 7 years of your life, 35 years outside the ship. 99.8% the speed of light. That's impressive. I feel like if I remember right, and anyone's welcome to kind of comment here and correct me if I get it wrong, but I think like the Large Hadron Collider accelerates particles to something like 99.999% the speed of light, which is impressively fast, but also requires immense amounts of energy. So like the amount of energy that must be contained in one of these power cells is mammoth. Well, like we're actually kind of hearing, oh, and that circle. Oh, we literally burnt half of our fuel to get there. Just to that half, which is good, but oh, the tension as the player going like, oh, we're using so much of it. We know we used a bunch, but we're now 32.3 years old. Oof. Like we will have experienced this player's entire life. All right, and I think we have probably ship damage from interstellar travel that it will tell us about momentarily. Yep, orbital control lost, so let's take care of that. But yeah, I love the, like, something I didn't feel during the demo that I do feel now is just what I think, Carlos, you had talked about during the initial playthrough of like the demo and the first segment that we put out. Is this like, I want to be connected to the character, right? To know the character, to feel like I have similar interests to the character, that I am trying to get back to humanity. And there is a real desperation in this effort. Do my calibration. And how many damage spots do we have? Let's see here. I see one on the nose. No, well, I mean, it is on the nose. Okay, there's 2 of them here. This time I was smart and didn't stand right out from the... Alright, that's 2 of the 4. Put our light on so we can see underneath here. There's our gear. It's not there. Let's see if we can find... Oh, I see one. It's on the wing. Wing? Not sure. I appreciate that it tells me that I have something equipped, because that kind of helps me pay attention to what's needed, what's next. There it is, I see it. Right by the wheel well. Also, the animation for the roll, where it like sprouts the tiny winglets that are thrusters, that's really cute. I like that a lot. I feel like I haven't seen that a lot in games. I mean, maybe it's inspired by something like Gundam or something like that, or a Transformers thing, but it is really cool.
I'm glad you like it. Gundam, yeah, they have like crazy space animation thrusters. I didn't see all their stuff, but I saw someone say, yeah, respect, kudos, like you said. And yeah, another reference for me was Dead Space, of course. They have the most incredible animations for this kind of zero-G movements, and it was one of my main inspirations, of course. And the character has some kind of small winglets that deploy all the time on space. They deploy. They are very thin, very subtle, but they are there and they work, and all the thrusters on the character work in a very realistic way. So it's amazing what they did in the from the original Dead Space 2. It was incredible. So yeah, I think that's kind of inspiration. But yeah, the way they deploy, that's my personal touch.
Just those little like visual tweaks that add interest to the maneuvering, right? Because space game people are absolutely going to be impressed by like realism in motion. I love that you can use shift, so like your sprint button, you can use that here if you want to like almost like heave yourself forward. I don't know whether we're going to land? Maybe we are? Orbital control restored. Yeah, we are. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll get ourselves on the... Oh boy, I'm really not planning this well. Here's what I want. I want this. Oh, I missed it. I think I'm going to not be rotating around so fast. Because I can't... I guess if I do my rotation right, maybe? Yoink. There we go. Wow, 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 wow. So, this puts us in position over the Vega star system planet, and I am thoroughly enjoying this, like genuinely. I think the controls make or break an exploration game, and in this case I feel like it's feeling really good. Like, understanding the orbital mechanics to hit an off equatorial rotating target is not easy, because the way those mechanics work, you're going to have to time it just right. And I think that's good. I really do. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Carlos for providing kind of commentary along the way and letting people see sort of your vision for the game and how you've evolved some of these systems. If you haven't, if you want to ask a question in a future video, drop us a comment. We'll try to get something worked in. If you are not subscribed, consider subscribing. Also, check out Carlos's page and his, especially the game information. Keep an eye out for it. I think this is absolutely going to be one to watch for as it hits the market. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed your beverage, and we'll see you next time.